you, Mr. Chairman. Our annual Easter egg hunt will be held this Saturday. Bruce is actually putting the flyer up. April 12th at 1 o'clock for children ages 0 to 8 years of age, and registration is requested. However, last year we had a bunch of people came Saturday, which we just wrote their name down. So we request registration, just so we have a gauge of how many kids.
Is this limited to Cecil Township or to anyone that comes?
We never put a limit, or we never said Cecil Township residents only. We never said Cecil Township residents only, but it is Cecil Township, so.
I was just curious. I remember that there was an issue a few years back. Maybe it was for Christmas or Easter, whatever, that the kids had to be residents of Cecil Township. I just was asking.
We did give the flyers to Youth Elementary, Cecil, and Hills Henderson.
I don't have a problem. I just was asking.
No, on our flyer, it doesn't say you have to be a Cecil Township resident.
And I don't know that we've stipulated that in the past. I think the majority of them are. There might be a few others, but I think the majority are Cecil residents of town.
This was before your time, Andy. It was when Phyllis was still supervisor. So she had a problem, as I recall, because she wanted her nieces and nephews or something from...
I won't turn anybody away, so that's just it. I won't turn anybody away. We have 200 goodie bags already set. Last year we had 156 kids. The year before that we had 196.
I think without anything being stipulated on that flyer, I think it's a good policy. Just don't turn anybody away right now.
The Parks and Board received a letter from a candidate asking to be a member of the Parks Board. You all met her this evening, and I think you have her letter. You received her letter. Lorraine Beaumont, she's a resident of Cecil Township. She also volunteers with the Ladies Auxiliary for 7 years and has previously volunteered at Parks and Recreation events. We're asking the board to make a motion to have Lorraine as a member of the Parks Board this evening.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we put, it's Lorraine or
Lorraine.
Lorraine Beaumont
Yes.
on the Parks Board. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
So moved.
Okay, the next item is, you had asked me to look into handicap picnic tables.
Accessible.
As of right now, the cheapest one that I could find is $831. It seems to be a higher picnic table where a wheelchair can be placed under the end, and that actually is for one wheelchair. I'm still looking, and Andy, you said that you
I
had a
discussed
book.
this with you earlier. I do have a few books at home myself too, and I'll look through them, and if I find something, because I know they have some handicap accessible equipment in them also. And I think it's a great idea, but I think it's a good idea to shop around in the next month.
I agree.
And then see the best price we can get, because I think it's good to have them.
And I think Bill and I have discussed the tables, so maybe you have tomorrow's meeting, we'll talk a little bit more.
Shirley, I have a question. How does this compare to the price of a regular?
Well, a wooden picnic table from Kaufman's, which is right here, is $299.
Really?
And this is a split seat, actually.
You know, that is always the option too, that we look into seeing if we can make one that, you know, that would be at a cheaper cost, that would all fit those measurements too for a handicap. I think we need to look at all of it, surely.
We
So
do.
we end up with coming up with something.
Right, we do. I mean, you had asked for a price, so.
Exactly, and that shows that they are expensive, so, you know,
They
it's
are.
time to look at all of them and see what we can find. I agree.
How many are you looking to?
One for each pavilion in Cecil and one in Hendersonville, so four, for a total of four. And I know Bill and I had discussed that about 10 picnic tables need replaced, the wooden tables throughout the park.
So that's 14?
Not at $800. At $299 is the split bench that was at Kaufman's on 18.
What do you feel is the, it seems to me that someone with a wheelchair could pull in at either end perhaps, or one end? Or
Well, I don't know about this one because it's not handicap approved. It may be too low.
Too low?
Yes. I mean, I can go to Kaufman's and ask them if they have a
Is
wooden.
that the Amish store on 18?
Yes.
Or maybe potentially they could
Build it
Build one
to
for
your
us.
specs?
and even get us some prices. So.
Uh-huh.
And that's always possible. I mean, whenever we look through the catalogs, we need to find the specs on a handicap. I know it is probably a higher table, and that one would be the cheaper way to go too.
Because I know Kaufman's has worked with us before.
Well, especially if they know that you might be ordering in quantity, they might
Right.
be willing to give you a good price.
I would reach out to them first.
I can do that.
Let's investigate other options and see.
Right.
I think it's good. I think it's a good idea to get some of that.
And Dawn had sent me a flyer asking what the Parks Board thought about the tennis camp for Cannon McMillan.
And that's on the agenda tonight too.
Okay. The Parks Board agreed that it would be a good idea, since we already have a basketball camp, just so that it's posted on each of the gates. I don't think there's been an issue with the basketball courts with the basketball camp down there. If there is, I'm not aware of any.
I haven't heard of anything issues. All I've heard is good comments about the basketball camp.
And this year will be the third year for it, so, I mean, we haven't heard any negative.
Any negative
Complaints.
thoughts about it?
And it was just brought to my attention, Chief, do you know anything about Lawrence Park being turfed?
Being turfed?
No, I don't think anyone reported that to us.
I can speak to that a little as my kids are in baseball. Apparently, about a week ago, somebody drove onto Lawrence Field and literally ruined the field, turfed it.
Soccer field or baseball?
Tore up the base, drove so deep, because I guess it was wet, that they tore up the base, where the bases go, and there's a lot of money gonna be required, a lot of damage, a lot of money gonna be required to repair it. They, at this point, as far as I know, don't know who did it.
Yeah, I recall it now. I think they even offered a $500 reward.
Yeah, one of the baseball parents put up his own money, put up $500 as a reward for any
Is there any lighting there?
No.
I don't believe so at that particular park, no.
Because I know last year we did with Baseball
There's
Association.
streetlights, but there's nothing in the park.
Yeah, there's nothing in the park.
I think he.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy today, he said that he was up there when it happened, walking his dog, and it was two girls in a cart, and they spun around and around and around, and then they eventually got stuck, had somebody come and try to push them out, and they got stuck, and it's...
What kind of car?
If
I
that
don't know, I'll
person
try to
could
find
talk
more
to the
information.
police, because this is
What kind of
serious.
car?
Yeah.
I could even put you in touch with that person, they
I would
might...
have Chief, I mean,
Yeah, if you
this
can
is
have him call the
serious.
office tomorrow, we'd like to talk to them.
I know that the girls'
They're
softball-
kind of afraid that they might get involved with something and have retaliation. But
No, I understand, but we can explain that to them. If they would like to come
Okay.
down, we'd be happy to talk to them.
At least you could get some leads on the show.
Absolutely, yes.
The chief.
I know, because last year we went with Baseball Association to get that field back in playing order for softball and everybody else.
I know that it was damaged so badly that the girls softball are not able to play on it at this point.
But the ruts are so deep.
Well,
And they have
Dawn,
to
we
go
have-
back in and repair the bases.
Do we have any property maintenance insurance on the parks, or? I mean, what's that?
Of course, we would have to wait till
Like homeowners.
normally we would file a police report once it was filed, I would turn it into our carrier, depending upon what the estimate was for the repair. We have $1,000 deductible.
Do we have vandalism on it though?
Yes.
For property maintenance, for bare land?
Well, it's not bare land, it's a park. I mean, it's,
Yeah, but there are structures on it.
I don't think we got none. Well, there are benches and,
It was
It
vandalism.
is designated
I'll
as
check
a
it
field.
tomorrow.
right, exactly.
One more thing, I was also told that there were witnesses standing around watching all this. So if somebody would go over there and ask the people that live right beside the
What
park.
time of day or night?
I
did
would
this-
say it was 5:30 maybe, somewhere around there, 5:30 in the afternoon.
What day?
I don't know.
Thank
He
you.
just mentioned to me, they were walking the dog.
It was just brought to my attention, so I wasn't sure if all of the
There was
supervisors
an
were
email that was
there.
sent around to all the baseball parents to let us know because it had delayed some of the games. And it was apparently very bad.
Okay, before you go, I have one thing that I wanted to bring up too. I came and went to the butterfly project that you had, and I thought it was very well. But I know last year we had a lot of issues with political stuff and political things. So I do have a small motion I'd like to bring up. I thought your butterfly thing was very good. There was no politics involved at all. It was very good. But I would like to bring up a motion right now, and I'll read it for everybody to listen to, and then we can decide what we want to do with it. Cecil parks are areas of open space providing for family recreational use. In keeping with this concept and the fact that all park board members and event volunteers are representing Cecil Township, they are prohibited from wearing or distributing anything with a political message. The goal is to keep all park and recreational activities family-friendly and enjoyable without exposing the public to political rhetoric. Failure to comply will result in discipline action from the Board of Supervisors. So that's the motion I'd like to make, and all I'm saying is I don't want any of the park employees or anything wearing anything with the upcoming.
We did.
I know, and you haven't done that, but I just wanted to put that.
And I wouldn't do it in the park.
And I just want to make sure, now here's the thing though too, you could have a lot of volunteers out there. And if you're actually volunteer, you're representing the township.
Right, and they
And that's-
understand
and
that
that's
for
the
any of
other
our
thing.
events, they
And I don't
do
think that'd be a
understand that.
problem with, but I just wanted to bring this up tonight. And you have in the butterfly thing, like I said, there was no politics, all was great.
No,
And I thought it
and
was very good.
moving
Can you
forward
read that
there.
again?
Cecil parks are areas of open space providing for family recreational use. In keeping with this concept and the fact that all park board members and event volunteers are representing Cecil Township, they are prohibited from wearing and distributing anything with a political message. The goal is to keep all park and recreational activities family-friendly and enjoyable without exposing the public to the political rhetoric. So that's what we're trying to say is, and I think that that's a good goal to keep with the park board people and our volunteers. And I don't think we'll have as many problems in the future if we can do this. So I've made the motion. Is there a second?
Wait, I have a quick question. If you're saying this is for park board members, but you're saying it's for in the parks and the open areas, well, what
It's
about
in events. It's in
parents
events.
that help out for the baseball association, parents that help out for soccer, parents, coaches that are there
That's
for
not a parks,
baseball,
that's not a
soccer,
parks,
but they're
Cecil
at the
Township
park.
sanctioned.
in the parks open areas, and you did
Yeah, but it's
mention-
not an event or something sanctioned by our township parks board. That's the baseball association.
So
See
even
what
if
I'm
they're
saying?
in like a park or an open
I'm
space.
saying the actual events that we do, whether it's the fall festival or the car show or the Easter egg hunt or anything. The people that are just being our volunteers are actually representing the township at that time. And that's what the motion is, to make sure that there's no politics brought into that part. I mean, any political candidate has a right to walk through the park
No, I
and
just
talk to
wasn't sure
everybody.
where the cutoff
But I'm
was.
just,
Is it
it is
baseball
just